Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast.
Hey, don't let these tears fool you. It's all dog around this mug. I'm good.
Hey, what's going on, WHO DAT Nation? It is yours truly, Timothy J. Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. Really do appreciate your time. As you can see, I'm back in South Carolina. Last show I actually did it in my mom's living room in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Of course, I was down in Vicksburg for the funeral of my great aunt, Miss Martha Lewis. It was a very emotional day, but nevertheless, my family battled through it. And shouts out to my grandmother, that was her sister that passed. She showed strength, and shouts out to the rest of the family as well, man. I mean, you hate to see your family members who you haven't seen in I don't know how long in a situation like that, because of a situation like that. But nevertheless, everybody rallied around one another. Me and my son Paxton, we took the trip, got back, a few days ago. And now we back, man. We back at it. Man, we about to hit the ground running. I took some days off, of course. I already told everybody. Some people probably asking, man, where TJ at? Where TJ at, man? Where you at, bro? Where you at, dog? Hey, man, I'm telling everybody, man, look, this is downtime. This is downtime right here, man. Not too much going on. People kind of making their own little content, little shows, scenarios, and what have you. I ain't got no problem with that. I feel what people are doing, you know what I'm saying? But that just ain't me, man. I just felt like I knew things were going to pick up in July, and they will. As you can see, if you actually seen the beginning of the show, the Gumbo Pot Sports Podcast with yours truly, Timothy J. Jones, will be premiering Monday, July 1st, and it will not be how this show is strictly about one particular team. We're going to be talking about NFL. We're going to be talking about college football, and the rules are going to be a little bit different. This show, we kind of keep a little bit family friendly, but we probably going to loosen the reins a little bit on that show. Probably going to have different type of call-ins because you have people talking about different teams. We're going to get different reporters that represent different teams, and I'm just asking everybody to support that. If you have not subscribed to the Gumbo Pod Sports channel yet, go to youtube.com, search Gumbo Pod Sports Podcast, so you can be able to check out the show. The shows that you've seen that focus on the Saints, probably going to be getting rid of those shows, right? It's going to be exclusively here on the State of the Saints podcast channel. And we're going to be talking about the NFL and college football on the Gumbo Pie Sports. So you do not want to miss that. If you're a fan of sports, if you're a fan of NFL, college football, you're going to enjoy that show. And I'm looking forward to doing this. For 6 years, I've been doing the State of the Saints podcast. And, I try to take a lot of pride in what I do as far as a content creator. Try to take a lot of pride and try to give you something to laugh about, something to think about, and being a little bit different from other Saints podcasts that you see. When it comes to the Gumbo Pot, I think a lot of my personality, a lot of things that you may not know about me, you're probably going to see that on the Gumbo Pot. So make sure that you subscribe to that channel. As people are filing in right now, I ask that you hit the like button. If you like me, if you like the show, if you like the content, hit the like button. And shouts out to everybody that donates to the show. Appreciate you. You can donate by super chats and in the comment section. But let's go ahead and get into it, man. We're talking a little bit about the Saints offense. The Saints offense is going to look different. Of course, it's getting a facelift. New offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak will be taking over as the offensive coordinator, and he is bringing in the wide zone. And we know that the wide zone puts a lot of emphasis on the running game. And there are some articles that have been put out about Alvin Kamara and his contract status and what are the New Orleans Saints going to do with AK? Are they going to be able to resolve this issue? Because he's an integral part of what the Saints are going to be doing in 2024. He is the straw that stirs the drink. And when I look at the wide zone, you need a running back that is very sophisticated. You need somebody that is smart, that can make really good decisions because there are options in the wide zone. It's not just, oh, we're going to open up this lane right here and you just run through it. There are going to be several different scenarios where the running back would have to make the best decision that can be able to get more yards. And not to mention, the addition of trying to beef up the outside blocking from the wide receivers, it is going to change the way that we look at New Orleans Saints football. We hear the reports coming out all the time. Oh, there's so much motion going on. Every play has motion. Where you're going to need Alvin Kamara, of course. But it doesn't just start with Alvin Kamara. I'm pretty sure the conversations have been going on around barbershops, around basketball courts, parks everywhere, recreational places about what the New Orleans Saints are going to do and who is going to have a standout year. I mean, we've seen Chris Olave name come up. We've seen him being interviewed on the NFL Network. We've seen people talking about Rashid Shaheed. We seen some articles that said that A.T. Perry could be a breakout receiver. We know about Alvin Kamara and what he has been to the New Orleans Saints since he was drafted in 2017. Kendre Miller, that final game of the season versus the Atlanta Falcons and the promise he showed in the last time we saw him. And also Jamal Williams, I'm pretty sure a guy who led the league in rushing touchdowns back in 2022 rather. He wants to be able to hit the ground running, especially since he only had one controversial touchdown that took place in the final game versus the Atlanta Falcons. And not to mention, I mentioned Kendre Miller. Kendre Miller basically outshined him and had a better game in one game than Jamal Williams had in his entire time as a New Orleans Saints running back. So you know that he has a huge chip on his shoulder and he has something to prove. And I'm going to open this up to everybody here in the comments. I want to know, who do you feel is going to be a breakout guy? Who is going to be that offensive fire starter for the New Orleans Saints in your opinion? Who do you feel is going to take a step forward? Who do you feel like is going to be a breakout star? I want to hear from you. I'm going to open up the phone lines in just a second to try to see what you all have to say about that. Also, I'm going to be reading some of your comments for those that may not want to, call in. I understand that some people, got a little bit of stage fright, rather type instead of, talk a little bit. There ain't nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to be opening up the phone lines really, really soon. But I'm going to go read some of your comments. But I just want to give a special shout out to everybody in the comments right now that's filing in. 53 people watching this right now. This is an impromptu show, as my shows are. I don't tell people what time I'm going to start. I just put them out there. But shouts out to everybody that got the notification or probably was on YouTube seeing this come up. I really do appreciate it. And also shouts out to those that can't make it, but they checking it out, the pre-recorded version. This is live, but some people may want to check it out pre-recorded. Probably ain't got the time. It's Friday. Probably got date night. Probably going to go to the movies. I feel you, but shouts out to the after show boys.
Shouts out, shouts out, shouts out, shouts out, shouts out to them after show boys. Shouts out, shouts out, shouts out, shouts out, shouts out to them after show boys. They be tweet and be posting, they be tweet and be posting, they be tweet. Yeah, them after show boys. They be tweet and be posting, they be tweet and be posting, they be tweet. Yeah, them after show boys.
Yeah, shouts out to all them after show boys, after show girls out there. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Already, mentioning a few of these offensive players, and feel free to put those comments down. Shouts out to my mom, says happy Friday, family. What's going on, Mom? I just got off the phone with my mom. What's up, TJ, Lake Charles, Louisiana, in the house? Who that? says Kevin. Thank you for being here. Derek says, rest in peace to your aunt, and just remember greatness is within you. Derek, absolutely, man. Shouts out. I'm gonna say one more thing about my aunt. I always joke around and I say that my aunt was the first movie star in our family. If you ever seen the popular 1988 movie Mississippi Burnings, my aunt was actually in that movie. There's a scene where they're having a funeral for the 3 civil rights workers. I want to say James Chaney out in Mississippi, and there was a scene in which the star of the movie, or well, one of the stars, Willem Dafoe, who played an FBI agent in a movie that was heading up the whole, missing persons case. They marched after the funeral, and if you look to your right, you'll actually see my aunt walking alongside Willem Dafoe. So, I always joke around and say she was the first movie star of the family. But my aunt was a great person. She's was a wonderful person, really loved, and one of the matriarchs of the family. She will indeed be missed. But check it out. Like, if you ever seen Mississippi Burning, she definitely was on that movie. As a matter of fact, let me see. I think I actually took a picture of that. And I got it in my phone, and I'm gonna try to upload that so y'all can actually see it. But like I said, my aunt was an incredible person, and everybody like just loved and respected her so much, and it is hurtful, especially like my side of the family. You had her older brother end up like passing away a month after she did. So my grandmother's side of the family, like they really going through it, as far as loss, but we're a strong, resilient bunch, so we'll get through it. Let's see, TJ, can you put the link in the comments for your Bleacher Report? Last time I was just too busy to click on it. Well, I'll try to go ahead and put that on there at the end of the show. I'll make sure I do that for you. But I will say this: you got to download. You got to download the Bleacher Report app in order for you to be able to follow me on Bleacher Report. So that's why it's very important for everybody that's trying to check out the Bleacher Report, Sports Talk with TJ Jones. If you're trying to check that out, you got to download the app in order for you to be able to do that. So just want to put that out there. Just want to make sure everybody understands that. Let's see. I'm trying to put this picture up here so so you all can see, check it out. But anyway, while that's uploading right now, I'm gonna just go ahead and finish reading some of your comments. Once again, I'm gonna open up the phone lines a little bit later. But this one right here, here it is. This is my aunt right here. I mean, the picture is kind of small. Let me see if I can try to enlarge that or whatever. But if you look at the top of the screen, you have Willem Dafoe right there, and then I guess like to his right, that's my aunt right there, and that's when they having a little marching scene on Mississippi Burning. She was a part of that. So I always thought that was pretty cool right there, man, to say, oh man, my aunt was in that movie. Be like, well, where she was at? Clear as day right there. So rest in peace to my Aunt Martha, man. All right, but let me scroll down a little bit. It says T already read that. It says, don't forget about Bud. Bud Means. Bud Means, young guy, played at Louisiana Tech, played at Pittsburgh. Yeah, but I feel like anything that Bud Means does it will be a little bit of like house money. I don't expect too much out of him, especially like when you have so many other talented wide receivers that are on the team already. I'm not looking at Bud Means. I'm looking at Shaheed. I'm looking at Olave. I'm looking at A.T. Perry. And you can even throw Cedric Wilson in there, who I have a lot of respect for. I just feel like Cedric Wilson is one of those receivers that a lot of people don't pay that much attention to, is because he was always surrounded by guys that kind of overshadowed him. CeeDee Lamb when he was with the Cowboys. Of course, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle when he was with the Miami Dolphins. And now you have Shaheed and Olave here in New Orleans. So Cedric Wilson has always been talented. There was a reason why he ended up going to Miami, because they paid him to come there. So he's another guy. So Bud Means to me, I think he has some star potential. He has some potential to be a real player with the New Orleans Saints. But I feel like at this point, like if he does anything, it would be more so of a pleasant surprise more so than me actually saying, "Oh man, he's gonna be a breakout star." I couldn't tell you that right now, but I believe in him. Nobody gonna shine until Carr gone. Yeah, well, look, I understand the whole thoughts about Derek Carr and stuff like that, but look, I don't want to make it seem like Derek Carr is just the worst quarterback that ever played the game or something. Like, you can win with Derek Carr. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but I've seen quarterbacks with less talent as Derek Carr, and teams find ways to get themselves into the postseason, even in the Super Bowl. I seen Rex Grossman play in the Super Bowl. I've seen Neil O'Donnell play in the Super Bowl. Right? I've seen some quarterbacks that people said would never amount to anything. Trent Dilfer, he ended up in the Super Bowl. I get some people gonna say, well, that was the Ravens. They had one of the best defenses in football. They did, but at the same time, you still need a quarterback that can do a little something. Like, in order for them to win some games, they had to put some points on the board. So it's not like it's out of the realm of possibility that Derek Carr can't, do enough for the Saints to win anything. Like, I don't want people just to sit up here and just make it seem like this dude is just hot, like steaming garbage. Like, he plays not so good at times, but it's not to a point where I'm just sitting up here saying, oh man, like, oh, hope is lost. Like, oh my God. Like, the dude did finish the season with 14-2, right? 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And miss me with the stuff about, okay, well, no, they weren't playing nobody. Look, man, if we going to throw 14-2 up when we try and defend Jameis Winston, we got to respect the 14-2 Derek Carr put up, regardless of how you want to put it. The guy isn't the worst quarterback that I ever seen. You can go to the Super Bowl with a top 15 quarterback. You can go to the playoffs with a top 15 quarterback. You can go and win a division with a top 15 quarterback. I don't know where this talk comes from. Like, people feel like, oh, if you ain't top 3, you can't roll with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? Everybody is not going to have Mahomes on their team. Everybody's not going to have Lamar. Everybody's not going to have Josh Allen. And even with Josh Allen, I mean, how many Super Bowls has he been in? So regardless of how the skill set looks, the talent level, the winning of the regular season games, they ain't winning nothing of any significance. So you kind of fall into the same category. I don't want people to have this disdain for Derek Carr so much to a point where they just feel like, oh man, this dude is just the worst quarterback that ever played the game or something. Like, I've seen worse quarterbacks than Derek Carr. My biggest issue with Derek Carr wasn't so much about his play. It was more so about him politicking and him feeling like he was the second coming of Drew Brees or something when you ain't did nothing besides, put up some stats with the Raiders. And I don't even want to say decent stats, because I say this all the time. Stats aren't created equal. But at the same time, like, you ain't earned that right. You ain't earned that right to get in nobody's face that been to the playoffs, that won more games than you. Hell, didn't been an integral part in beating you. Because the last time when the Saints played the Raiders, you didn't score a point. So with that, that's what my biggest issue. I felt like, I was looking at Homelander here, like a guy who looks the part and smile in people's face and have everybody, hey, Homelander. But behind the scenes, like, he's a conniving, petty individual. You know what I'm saying? Like, trying to put the knife in the back. That's the issues that I had. It had, like, quarterback play, like, it ain't about to set the world on fire, but you can't win. I've seen mediocre quarterbacks win divisions. Case in point, Baker Mayfield last year. So you can win something. What you can win, that remains to be seen. But don't make it seem like this dude was just, oh my God, like this dude is the worst thing ever. Like, I've seen worse. I've seen worse. Much love and respect to your family during this time, Mama SOTS. Said Josh says, well, TJ, my mother passed this year, man. Miss her so. But love watching you, willing to do what you are doing to be better. Who that? Yeah, Karen. Look, first off, with your mother, man, make sure you rest in peace. I know you're going through a tough time, but I appreciate you for being here. I really do appreciate your support and what you comment and stuff like that, and also your kind words. Yeah, man, it's about elevation, man. I'm about elevating. I'm trying to be the best possible version of myself, and I'm trying to put out the best content. Like I say this very humbly. I'm trying to be the best podcaster out there. Like seriously, I feel like I got the skill set, the drive, the determination to be one of the best. And at the same time, I want to be able to provide some of the best content. And, I don't even feel like an underdog. I feel like every time people kind of roll up on your channel, they always say, man, dang, well, how did I miss this? Right? That's the way I feel. So we just trying to elevate, man. And we're going to be talking more sports. We're going to be talking about other topics, real life topics, right? And it also opens us up for a different audience, man. So I'm looking forward to doing a Gumbo Pod and putting out that content, man. And I'm asking everybody to subscribe to that channel. YouTube.com, search Gumbo Pod Sports Podcast. Strolling down, said, dang, TJ, if you come around on DC for I like it. Look, I ain't never, like I told you, my take on him was always based on performance. Like if you go back to it, it wasn't like I was just sitting up here like ready to pounce on this dude. Like honestly, if you look at from the time the Saints signed Derek Carr from the season, like you would think that I suffer from bipolar disorder or something. Like based on like my thoughts and feelings when he first signed, telling everybody, man, get this dude a chance. I see the numbers and I fell for it too. I tell people like that all the time. I fell for the banana in the tailpipe, so to speak. Like the numbers and stuff like that, I felt like it kind of dictated it. Then all of a sudden, I started really having little issues when I started seeing like how homie was rolling. You feel me? Like I felt like, bro, you ain't done enough in a Saints uniform to be sitting up here getting up in other people's face that won more games than you. Like you ain't reached that level yet, bro. So that was my biggest issue with Derek. And then on top of that, like you in somebody's face and you overthrowing, underthrowing, and throwing picks like Razor Ramon, like come on, dude, like you can't do that, man. But when I look at it, like people like he get your ends, people taking a mile here, like they make it seem like, man, this dude is like Scott Mitchell, Steve DeBerg or something. I'm like, man, like you ain't winning with that. Like, but you can win with Derek Carr. Now you're not going to win because of Derek Carr. Like that's for the Mahomes and the Lamars of the world. But if you surround him with some players, a running game, wide receiver, maybe can get some yards after the catch, a defense that's stout, a pass rush that can get the ball back into his hands, getting off the field on third down, you can win with that. You can win with it. Like, but as far as like, oh man, look, hit a ball, Derek. We down by 10. Fourth quarter, still got plenty of time left. Go out here and win us a football game consistently. He'll probably do it once or twice to try to validate. See, well, TJ, he said he can't do it. No, I ain't saying that he can't, but I'm just saying if you ask Patrick Mahomes to do that 4 or 5 times in a season, he can do it. Derek, 1, maybe 2 times, right? You ain't winning because of this dude consistently. That was my whole gripe about it. To say I ain't like the dude, but we know how we roll. If we say anything negative towards somebody, we don't like them. That's the narrative. If you say anything negative about the team, or you a hater, you ain't a real fan. Like everything is not just cut and dry, but that's the society we live in now. Accountability was my problem. That was my biggest issue. That was my biggest issue, Chosen. That was my biggest issue. It's about accountability. Like, don't tell me that my garbage can stink if you ain't washed yours out since January 1st. You feel me? Like, don't tell me that, right? Your trash is stinking too. It's attracting the flies too, right? Clean your trash can out, and then you can tell me about how bad mine smell. Then you can give me some tips about how I can make it smell minty fresh or something. I don't know, but we can't both have smelly trash cans, and you up here telling me that I need to wash my trash can. No. You playing like slow too, bruh. You know what I'm saying? You overthrowing, underthrowing dudes too now. So don't come at me like that. That's all we want. You know, we want, like, it's like a drunk telling you stop drinking. Like, dude, you you smash right now. But if you done cleaned yourself up, man, you know what I'm saying? You done went to AA meetings and got yourself together, and you're like, okay, man, I think you just need to get off the sauce. You know, I know what it can do to you. That's all I'm saying. Drew Brees told DC4, if you embrace the city will embrace you back. I agree with that. As I drink this, and this is my new favorite drink here. It's called Liquid Death. It's water I've been drinking, man. I mean, this water is fantastic. They not asking me to plug that. I'm just telling y'all what it is, man. Cause it's funny, man. Like, you can get these at like most gas stations and stuff like that. So every time I go to the gym, I always stop at like the gas station and probably pick some up, man, because I ain't gonna lie, like some of these, then they come in a pack. Like, man, these things like $15, $16. I ain't ready for that type of commitment just yet. So you walk out the store and people just looking at you like, you ain't even bottle this. Like, man, it's water. You know, like, cause you know, if you walk out of somewhere, you're supposed to have it in, you know, alcoholic beverage, supposed to have it in a brown paper bag. But people think, you know, I'm walking out of there with a, you know, alcohol, what it's not. But it's a good water right there, man. Y'all need to try Liquid Death. It's really good, refreshing, and, you know, really help with hydration. See, Joe Flacco with the Ravens, 13 Brad Johnson, and 02 Bucks Derek Carr almost threw for 4,000 yards and had 3-1 pass touchdown. The interception ratio was 68% completion percentage and 100 passing rating. Well, I say this all the time. A lot of times, like, when one person does something, we have a tendency of like finding all their flaws. Like, if one person does something we don't like, Derek, it's like, oh, you know, man, I wish that dude, like, let's just say, for example, dude got a shirt. Like, it's something harmless. Like, he done wore the same shirt 2-3 days in a row, right? I don't know where he wearing it, but he done wore that shirt 2-3 days in a row. Yeah. I bet he stink. Yeah. What about his jeans? I think I seen him with them jeans on the day before. Yeah. It's like, now you just starting to add on to the biggest gripes that you already had with him. But it started with this dude just wearing the same shirt. You done seen this dude pop out with the same shirt. That is how it is when it comes to like some things. Like, we have to understand, there's going to be certain characteristics about an individual that we may not be a fan of. But we got to be very, very careful that we don't fall down that rabbit hole of just completely just throwing the whole project away, right? Just because we got a little smudge on it, or maybe, you know what I'm saying, like, we kind of, you know, wrote in pen and kind of scratched it. Like, we got to be careful with that. The biggest issue that I had, like, I can't speak for you, was the lack of accountability. And that was my biggest issue. Like, everything else that kind of came with it was me evaluating his gameplay. So if he played well, I would go in there and say, man, this might be the best game I've seen Derek Carr play as a Saints quarterback. And people were bad. Man, come on, TJ. Come on, TJ. Like, what? The dude played well. Just because I say, oh, man, this dude played like slaw one week, don't mean he can't bounce back. But people want the narrative to continue. We got to be careful with that, man. One big issue that we may have, we got to stick to that particular issue and be careful about adding on to certain situations to get us all riled up, wanting this dude to get up out of town. And then the next thing you know, we feeling like this dude ain't even salvageable, but he might have one little pet peeve that if he fixed, he can be a little bit better. I don't know. It remains to be seen. How would the accountability thing play a role this season? I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that everybody's on the equal playing field now. Everybody's learning a new offense. I don't know. We'll see. You know, it's a new season. So, you know, I'm willing to give people opportunities to change narratives. You know, whatever happened in 2023, it happened. It's in the past. We can't have it back. But, if you start over, start fresh, and play better, nobody ain't going to say anything about you. How's everyone doing this evening, says Jerry. Josh says, you already the best podcast out there. Well, I appreciate that, Josh. I appreciate that, man. And thank you for the $2. Says, once can't play Mike went down, the offense got better. Well, I don't know. I don't know if the offense got better or not. I think it had a lot to do with the fact that towards week 11, week 12, some of the issues that Derek Carr had that were, should I say, like involve his limbs. Like when he got hurt in that Minnesota game, I mean, that was a concussion. Well, not poo-pooing on concussions. We all have had these conversations about CTE and all that kind of stuff and how concussions can play a role in these guys' lives. We know about that. But what I'm saying is, he started to heal from the rib injury, start healing from the shoulder injury. And towards the end of the season, he started to feel a little bit better and the play got better. I think that maybe it was coincidental because I don't know. I mean, if you look at Michael Thomas, like how much of an integral part was he in this offense? He might get like Mike might get about 2 targets, like early in the game, 3 targets tops. And then the next thing you know, it's the Chris Olave show. And he's looking for somebody else. So I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that the Saints pretty much anointed Chris Olave as the guy. Like, I think that it was pretty obvious last year. Even he mentioned that on the NFL Network when he realized that he was indeed the dude. So I think a lot of what we saw had to do with the fact that the Saints were basically telling everybody that Chris Olave is the number one guy. And I think a lot of what we seen when it came to the improvement was Derek Carr feeling a little bit more healthier and his extremities were starting to heal. That's why I feel. I just feel like it was kind of coincidental that Mike T went down in week 10. Then after that, like I said, he really, I'm talking Derek Carr, he started to heal and play a little bit better. Excuse me. Let's see. Just hope the O-line can keep him clean, says Slim Slough. Yeah, I agree. But hopefully these new offensive linemen and the new offensive alignment will help him. Can't play Mike was a cancer to our wide receivers and to the locker room and held the offense down. That will help immediately. I don't agree with that, man. I don't agree with that because Michael Thomas wasn't a part of this offense and he wasn't playing during the time when Pete Carmichael for the last couple of years has made this offense look about as pedestrian as somebody walking across the street. I get it, right? Everybody, people got their opinions about Michael Thomas and stuff, but Michael Thomas, you can make an argument that Michael Thomas was the reason why the offense was so much better, like when they were like really hitting the ground running. I mean, when he was catching everything, and I mean, the closest wide receiver was to him was, I don't know, who was it? Jared Cook, and he was probably like about 60 receptions back from him. So I think it had a lot to do with what Pete Carmichael was calling and the lack of explosive plays, the lack of utilizing AK the way that Sean has used them throughout the years. I don't think it had much to do with Michael Thomas. People gonna talk, people gonna run their mouth, people gonna say all these different things, but I don't think it. Michael Thomas, his words and his opinion and his viewpoints had anything to do with the fact that this offense was just looking about as stale as some chips left open 24 hours. So I don't know, man. People don't like the way that Michael Thomas was talking, him being as expressive, him venting his frustration. But hey, man, that's that man's story to tell, right? Everybody can't be politicians and saying all the right things, doing all the right things. And that's just the way that he rolled. So, people can call him a cancer and all that kind of stuff there. To me, look, if you playing football, man, and you in your right mind and you got the right stuff and you made out the right stuff, ain't nobody tell you how to feel. Ain't nobody gonna tell you how to approach the game. People gonna always complain. I'm pretty sure you had a job right now. Somebody complaining, man, they know they can have us, a longer break. They know they can give me this smoke break. Do you know they can, like all these different things, right? But it don't sway you. Like you still gonna punch that clock, you still gonna clock out for lunch, clock back in when lunch over, do your job, right? There's always people that's gonna be complaining around you. Like they ain't stopping me from performing my job. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? You can have a problem with this, but guess what, man? Shoot. When the next job come up and come open, they're gonna be asking me about it because I'm putting in that work. So I don't know, man. I don't think like football is one of those games where, you can't be looking for other people for motivation. Like you doing that, then the next thing you know, you hurt. Right? Can't nobody sway you. Can't nobody sway you to say, oh man, this dude ain't the answer. He may not be the answer. But at the same time, like this is my job. My job is to go out there and perform. My job is to go out there and put up numbers. Because guess what? I'm going to get shipped out. So, I don't know. People going to complain, man. People always going to run their mouth. But I don't think it had anything. It ain't like somebody, man, you heard what Mike said? Man, he said that about Dennis Allen. Man, you right, man. You know what? I ain't gonna play as hard as I can. Like, please. Mike T can talk like that because Mike T paid. A lot of those guys don't have that energy just yet. I appreciate everyone for making my birthday month special. Love my Who Dat Nation. Love you, TJ. Well, Jerry, we love you too, man. And thank you for all the support. Once P. Carmichael learned what play, action, and motion were for the last 6 weeks of the season, Carr had 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions in the last 6 weeks. Yeah, I mean, but like I said before, I mean, that had like, look, you can look, P. Carmichael was not a good offensive play caller. I don't care what, like, seriously, he was not a good offensive play caller. I get what you're saying. Like I said, Derek Carr played better down the stretch, but I feel like it had a lot more to do with him being healthy than P. Carmichael calling plays. P. Carmichael was a disaster as a play caller. P. Carmichael, to me, and I've always said this, P. Carmichael is like Jonah Hill on the movie Moneyball. He was the guy behind the scenes that can crunch the numbers and come up with these analytics to tell Brad Pitt's character, who played the general manager, who to select, who to put in the lineup because he had this batting average and he had this ERA. That was what P. Carmichael was. P. Carmichael is not one of those individuals that can call plays game in, game out. If you tell P. Carmichael, I need you to call plays this week, week 7 versus the Detroit Lions, and he's prepared for that, he'll probably call one of the best games that he ever called in his life because he only has to focus on that one game. But if you're asking him to do a week 7, week 8, week 9, I don't feel like he can be able to do it consistently. And I have a large enough paper trail on P. Carmichael to say that. P. Carmichael, if you, I'm being honest. If P. Carmichael was going into his 3rd season as the Saints offensive coordinator, him and Dennis Allen would be on the next thing smoking. I feel like what happened with Derek Carr, it had a lot to do with the fact that he started getting better down the stretch. He started feeling better down the stretch. And it had very little to do with P. Carmichael as a play caller. Because P. Carmichael, to me, is more of a behind-the-scenes offensive mind. He probably is offensive genius. But just because you're offensive genius don't mean that you can be an offensive genius calling plays. Some people can put things together and stay up all night and be like, okay, man, I seen this game when such and such played such and such, and I feel like I seen them, fall victim to this. We need to put this in there. He probably good with the install and all kind of other stuff. But when it comes to like game in, game out bases, I just don't feel like he'd answer. And I think the Saints made the right decision. And I think where he is right now, I think that he'll thrive in that role because to me, I don't feel like P. Carmichael ever wants to be the front man. To me, I just feel like he's okay with being behind the scenes. See, we have come to grips in believing that everybody wants to be a leader, and that's just not the case. Everybody wants to be in the front. Everybody wants to be a head coach. That is not true. Everybody don't want to do that. Some people just like being around football, shooting a you know what, talking football, calling a play that works, but ain't trying to be the front man. And Pete Carmichael strikes me as that type of individual. But what I do right now, we're talking who will be the best offensive weapon for the New Orleans Saints this season. That's what we're talking about here. And what I do is I'm going to take a few phone calls, talk to you all a little bit, see what you all have to say about the Saints offense, or who do you feel will be a really good asset to the offense for the New Orleans Saints. Put the link inside the comments. And also what I do is I try to pull up the Bleacher Report so people can be able to check it out. I can be able to tell people, where to find me. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up so people can get that link, put that in, and make sure that you download the Bleacher Report app. Okay, download the Bleacher Report app and follow me on Bleacher Report. So I'm putting that down there too. So you have to download the app in order for you to be able to follow and check out the episodes of Saints Sports Talk with TJ Jones on Bleacher Report. Let's see. Alfred says, Sean gonna let P. Carmichael call the plays when they come back to the Dome this year. Well, I'm pretty sure he probably do, because that lines up with the type of petty Sean Payton is. Which I don't understand why you would be petty anyway. I mean, nobody forced you to leave. It's not like you got fired. It was your choice. So, why would you have like a level of petty or anything like that? Like that to me would be petty. But at the end of the day, like, if you care so much about Pete Carmichael and his job, maybe you should have stuck around and he probably would be here. I mean, that's just me, right? Pete Carmichael will still be behind the scenes, calling the, what they call annexation of Puerto Rico every now and then, right? Like, still on your staff. So you knew who Pete Carmichael was. You worked alongside this dude 14, 15 years. You know what he was, right? You knew what his strengths and weaknesses were. So it shouldn't have been no surprise that happened. It should have been inevitable in your eyes. AK is just standing on business as he should, and he has never been a diva. As for Mike T, he speaks his mind and has never been a cancer in the locker room. I ain't never heard nobody say anything about him being a cancer in the locker room. For the exception of people who may disagree with his approach. I like shouts out to my guy Matt Moscona, but I think that when it comes down to it, his relationship with Jeff Duncan kind of just allowed him to, get ticked off, because I mean, I think he respects and values Jeff Duncan a lot. So it's almost like taking a shot at his friend. And when you know people, I guess, behind the scenes and get to know them personally and how they operate. Because I feel the same way when it comes to Ross, man. Like Ross Jackson. Like Ross don't bother nobody. He's a really good person. Like what Ross is on camera, that's how he is like behind the scenes. So when people like talk about him, like, yeah, I feel some type of way. Because, I mean, he's such a great person. Like that ain't no facade. Same way with Mike Detillier, same type of personality. So I can understand that, but I don't agree with the fact that him being a cancer. I just think that he's extremely frustrated. Like you go from having 149 receptions, most in NFL history, offensive player of the year, first time a wide receiver did that's in Jerry Rice. I mean, a few wide receivers have done it since then. Cooper Kupp to name one of them, but you get a little frustrated, right? Because now it's like, man, I was on this Hall of Fame trajectory. Now I can't stay on the field. And you get hurt at basically making a business decision, right? Basically get ham sandwiched between two guys. One guy hit you high, other guy hit you low. Like you ain't feeling happy about that, right? So at the end of the day, I can understand his frustration, man, and I can also understand how other people may feel about, what they think about him. But I also feel that sometimes we as fans and as onlookers, we have a tendency, and I'm just being honest, we support so much team. and we don't look at these players. Like we just buy everything the team. Oh, he wants a new contract. Who is he? He should be playing. He making millions upon millions of dollars. Like, can you put yourself in that particular situation? Probably can't, because you're looking at how much he gets paid. But I don't look so much at what the guys get paid, because if you do that, then you might look at it as being petty. I look at it from a humanized standpoint. Like, if I'm doing the best that I possibly can do at my job, and I know I'm getting paid pennies on a dollar, I don't know I want to get paid. And I just think that sometimes, like, the organizations, they can control the narrative, because you have individuals that don't want to lose their position, that will be gladly to toe the company line, to snub up here and tell you how selfish a player is, and how we talked to this player and he said we gave him this amount of money. He said we'll pay him this amount, but he walked away from the tables. He money hungry. You got people with agendas out here. We got to be careful with that. Alfred, you can if you can call back in, man. I seen Alfred in here. You can call back in, man. Says, I never heard anyone say a bad word about Ross. I mean, every now and then somebody come up here, like, say they have a little something to say, but it's probably because, maybe, I don't know, he comment right, or I don't know, man. Y'all know how I go. Y'all know how I go. Y'all know how I go. When people don't agree with somebody says, and, oh, he a hater. He don't know what he's talking about. Like, I get that all the time. I guess because I don't pop up on WWL or other places. I don't know what I'm talking about, but man, whatever. Good person, in my opinion. The reason why they do it is the boy have the podcast of the year. To me, you know what I'm saying? Like, just an overall great person. Like, sometimes people just, I don't know, just hate on people because they so positive. And they always have a positive energy about themselves. Just speculation, but what if Sean left because of Mickey Loomis? Knowing what we know now about how stubborn Mickey Loomis has been with keeping DA around, what if him and Sean had a problem? I don't think that's the issue. I don't think, look, them guys work together for I don't know how long. And honestly, I feel like some of the practices that Mickey Loomis have is because of Sean Payton, right? Because, I mean, we got to think about this. Sean Payton, first season, took the Saints to the NFC Championship game with a 10-6 record. Then all of a sudden, the Saints missed the playoffs, right? Think about that. What has Dennis Allen done? Missed the playoffs, right? And everybody wants this man head. And if you want to be honest, you had some people that were calling for Sean Payton to get fired. They were calling for him to get the old heave-ho. And then in 2009, that's when the Saints won the Super Bowl. Ain't nobody say nothing else after that, right? Because, this guy gave us the greatest moment ever. So we got to be quiet. Like, he nobody ever coached like this guy. So his patience probably came because of what Sean did in his first season. Then second and third year, they didn't do anything, and people wanted this man gone. No, I won't say everybody, but you start hearing whispers. All right, we're gonna go to Alfred. Alfred, how you doing, man? Alfred, are you there? If you are, you can take yourself off mute.
Yeah, can you hear me, TJ?
I can now, man. How you doing?
Hey, man, you doing all right, man? I want to congratulate you, man, on the State of the Saints podcast, man. I started following it about a year ago, man. You do a good job, bro.
I appreciate that, Alfred, man. Thank you. That means a lot, man. And I for great people like yourself, man, that always tune in, man, it makes this show worthwhile and worth doing. So thank you for that.
Sometimes you be saying exactly what I need to say.
I hear that, man. But it's great to do this show, man. I love it, man. I'm a lifelong Saints fan. Grew up in the city, man. So just doing a show like this is almost therapeutic, as well as just fun coming up with content, man. But thank you for that.
Okay, man. This is what I wanted, man. I'm kind of worried about the little Alvin Kamara contract dispute. I'm kind of.
Right.
Do you think he's looking for McCaffrey money, or he actually should maybe take what Derrick Henry got, approaching 30 years old, and the way the NFL had devalued the running back position.
Well, I put it like this. If you're looking for Christian McCaffrey money, I mean, that would be a little bit of a stretch, right? There was a time, Alfred, where the NFL world were looking at these two guys as, the two best. Like Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara, there wasn't too much of separation there. But for, fair, unfair, and I like to say this because we know how the Saints have been utilizing Alvin Kamara is not the same way he was used like when he first got to the Saints. It's different. So I can understand how he feels. It's almost like I used this example last episode. It's like taking a person away from something that they're really good at because you want them to do something that you want them to do, right? And they may be decent at it, but not the best. So I can understand how he feels. It's not like I fell off. It's the fact that y'all not utilizing me the way y'all once did.
Yeah, the way the
Yeah, my bad. But anyway, it's like, is it my fault? But your numbers don't reflect that, for better or for worse. So you can't look for Christian McCaffrey money. But I do feel like the New Orleans Saints need to come at this dude respectable, because you're not going to hire Clint Kubiak and him coming from the 49ers if you did not see what he did or help to do with Christian McCaffrey. And the reason why you brought him to New Orleans is because you feel you have a Christian McCaffrey-like running back in Alvin Kamara. So with that being said, Alfred, you should pay him respectably. Not Christian McCaffrey, because you ain't reached that. But it should be to a point where maybe you come to him respectable with an option or something like that, where if he outperforms what the contract entails, then you can probably talk to him and maybe go back to the negotiating table.
Yes, I truly agree. I truly agree. Yep.
Yeah. But what about you, man? I mean, look, I know you said it's concerning about those the contract negotiations, but man, how important do you feel like Alvin Kamara would be this season, man? I mean, you got to think about like the way that the Saints are trying to change up this offense, and they talk about running the football. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I just think he's as a running back. I don't think he would have any problem fitting in with the offense.
Right.
I just feel like, what he means to the New Orleans Saints at the time and what they're trying to do. I just don't want it to be one of those situations where I want Alvin to understand also that, how sometimes they might be in a situation where maybe he wants to get paid for what he's done. Right. Versus, what his market value is right now. I just hope him and the agent really think about, the situation with his age that he's approaching, to the point where we can still keep him on the team, because I think the young stud would be pretty good coming out of TCU as well. But I'm just not going to make him Alvin Kamara neither.
This offense was structured, and the reason why the Saints really wanted to move forward with this wide zone had everything to do with Alvin Kamara. And Alvin knows that. And Alfred, it's not like, I want people to understand this. The man is not being selfish. It says that he's supposed to get $10 million. Only $1 million of that is guaranteed. So you got an incentive-laced contract, right? With a guy. Because, I mean, I don't even count next season. That's just a phantom year that's for the Saints to kick the can down the road, like $20-some-odd million. This man is only supposed to make like $1 million. So let's go ahead and break this thing down. So a base salary, I want people to understand this, right? For Alvin Kamara, as talented as he is, I'm doing a math here, okay? So we're saying a base salary of $1 million. Think about this. Okay, so 10% of that, which is $100,000, is going to his agent, right? Then you got to pay taxes in every single state that you play in, which is like 23 to 24% in certain places. So give or take, this man probably gonna go with a base salary of about $650,000, and you dividing that by 17 games. So this man is going to be getting paid $38,200 some odd dollars a game for Alvin Kamara. So I want people to understand it. Like when you see that $10 million on there, that's with incentives. Like if he rushed for a certain amount of yards, he score a couple touchdowns, what have you, then he'll get that money. But the only thing guaranteed to this dude after taxes is about $650,000, $38,000 a game. Now to you, you're like, man, shoot, give me that $38,000. But we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar sport that we're watching on television with crazy television deals and a team that really relies on his position to be able to stir the drink of this new offense. Man, it's not fair. It's not fair.
Right.
It's not fair, man. But Alfred, you got anything else, man?
No, that's it. That's it. I'm waiting on the season, man. I hope to see you September 15th because I'm out of Dallas, man. So I hope to see you down
Hey,
there.
I'm gonna try. Hey, I was talking to shouts out to my brother Sam, man. I was talking to this boy a couple of days ago. I'm like, man, I want to get down there for that Saints Cowboy game. If I do, Alfred, I'm gonna hit you up, man. But that's definitely on the list, man, of the games I want to visit this year. But hopefully I'll see you there, man, if I get there.
All right, man. Yep.
All right, take it easy, Alfred. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Shouts out to Alfred, man. Shouts out to Alfred, man. Good call right there. Good call. But I want people to understand that. Like, I want people to understand how contracts work. I want people to understand this. Like, we look at these crazy numbers and these crazy contracts and all that. The only thing that is guaranteed to these players is the guaranteed money and a signing bonus. All these different things, like when they say, oh, this player gets paid $200 million with, I don't know, 100 of it guaranteed. So $100 million going to the player in base salary right there. And if you have like 3 or 4 years, you already know what it is, right? 3-4 years. If it's 4 years, it's $25 million a season, right? But you take taxes, state taxes, and all those kind of things. So think about this, folks. Think about this. You be tripping when you got to pay that 24% to Uncle Sam each year out of your paycheck. Now think about having to pay that money for 8-9 different states that you play in. So every single year off the rip, Saints players have to pay taxes in Georgia, got to pay taxes in North Carolina. There's no state tax in Florida, which is lucky for them because they play Tampa, right? But you got to pay taxes in Missouri this year. You got to pay taxes in Wisconsin this year. You got to pay taxes in Cali this year. All those different states that you play in. Then on top of that, like I said, you get your percentage, your 10, 20% to your agent. Like, come on, man. Like, when it's all broken down, man, like, when these dudes be trying to go to the table, you have to understand it. You're saying Alvin Kamara, a multi-Pro Bowler, a multi-time Pro Bowler, one of the best running backs in the league. He ain't worth more than $38,000 a game. Look, I don't know what to tell you. But let's go ahead. We're going to move on, go to Cannon. Cannon, how you doing, man?
What's going on, TJ? Thank you for having me on your show, buddy.
No problem, man. It's been a minute, man. How you been?
Oh, it's been good, man. I just been working and just trying to relax, man, and just trying to think about my mother. Me and my sister, we had to go to Alabama and, you know what I'm saying, see my mom for the last time. See our mother for the last time. It was heartbroken, man, and you know, I miss her so, man. But I've been trying to get on. I remember when I found you on Facebook, and I've been following you since, man. I mean, I remember when you had the little screen there, and man, I've been following you since, man. And I love your show, man. And I said, I set up here and I told my wife that I want to do a podcast, and I want to, you know, try to create something to where people could, you know what I'm saying, understand where I'm coming from. So this is what I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah.
It was after the draft, and Dennis Allen and I'm hoping the chat is listening, and I hope that you know what I'm saying, a lot of people didn't catch this, but it was after the draft. Right. Dennis Allen said something because they was asking him about Spencer Rattler.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna sit up there and he gonna say, well, that wasn't our target in the draft to draft Spencer Rattler. And the thing that got me was, what he say? Oh yeah, well, because sometimes that could be a little bit expensive. Let me explain to you what I did not like about that answer.
Okay.
First of all, you sit up there and you give Derek Carr $150 million contract and you talk about expensive. That's what I wanted to get to you, TJ. I think that Spencer Rattler could actually bring us somewhere. But you sit up there, and that's what I don't like about Dennis Allen. When I talked to you before, because I was at work when I spoke to you, and I said that, well, sometimes Dennis Allen sits up there in front of that media and acts like he don't know what to say and acts like he don't want to win. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that Derek Carr is, you know what I'm saying, bad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that he could be a good quarterback in certain situations, and sometimes he just bores us. I mean, like I said before, you know, when Breeze was playing, we used to seeing almost 60 points on the board, TJ, on a Sunday. So basically, now we got to sit up here and hopefully in the fourth, we fighting for the Saints fighting for their lives in the fourth quarter. So how you gonna sit up there and say, oh yeah, that's a little bit too expensive for a quarterback when you gave Derek Carr $150 million contract and he ain't do nothing for it?
Yeah. I mean, look, I feel this way, right? Number one, let's just cut to the chase here, Cannon. You have $150 million quarterback that you done paid $100 million guarantee. We done said these numbers so many different times.
Yeah.
You are not going to do what the Falcons did with Kirk Cousins, right? Like, you're going to try to put this dude mind at ease. Like, man, okay, man, we weren't expecting this, man, you know, because we weren't sure we wanted to go quarterback. So it's like, he kind of just fell into our lap because Derek is our guy. We believe in Derek. So you kind of have to, man, you know how I go, man. You got to smooth these dudes' egos, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got to, oh, man, you got to, you know, you the best, man. You number one, man. You're our guy, man. You know, beside the shoulders a little bit. You feel me?
But yeah, I mean, I feel you. But here's where I what I understand. First of all, when it was Drew,
right,
we could trust Drew with $150 million or more because we knew in the pocket he wasn't gonna board us. Think about it, TJ. All them beautiful throws, man. Them rainbows that he did. The man took us to a Super Bowl. I mean, that for you to sit up there.
Caddy, you just answered your question, bro. You knew that you was gonna get top-notch quarterback play. You know that you had a champion. You know that you had somebody that was gonna win consistently, right?
That's what I'm saying
right there. Yeah.
You said this so many times in your chat. You said this so many times on your podcast, and I pay attention, man. You said that you can't that's just like Derek Carr. You can't just win one game, and then all of a sudden, the next 3 games you lose. Look what Drew did. Drew not only won one game, but he won 6 or 7 more games after that, and he made sure with the presence of Sean Payton to get us in the playoffs, to get us there. You mean to tell me you gonna sit up there in front of the media and tell them people that that's just a little bit expensive to get Spencer Rattler? When you gave $150 million contract to Derek Carr, that's what pissed me off. I'm sorry, TJ, but I hate it when he said that. You know what I'm talking about? You give $150 million contract to Derek Carr when Derek Carr sat up there his first season and couldn't do anything?
Right. Look, I 100% agree with what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but that's a lot, Cannon. So let's unpack a little bit of this, all right? Now, you mentioned they gave Derek Carr this money, right? They gave Derek Carr this money because they felt like Derek Carr, a seasoned veteran, can be able to, I don't want to say be Drew Brees, but be able to like help the New Orleans Saints get back to the postseason, right? That's number one.
Right.
Number two, a lot of things of what you just said was because Drew Brees set the standard. It's like, it's like Aaron Brooks. It's like Aaron Brooks, right?
Right.
Aaron Brooks was the first quarterback to win a playoff game for the Saints, right?
Yep.
So this man playing with house money. You know what I'm saying? Anything he did after that was like, who you gonna compare me to? Bobby Hebert? Archie Manning? You know what I'm saying? Them dudes ain't won nothing. Like, I'm just keeping it a buck. It's the standard. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, if you're a good, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, where my ladies at right here? You know what I'm saying? Like, you dating a dude, this man get, you know what I'm saying? This man opening the door for you, this man, like, you know what I'm saying, being super nice, all these different things, right? Then all of a sudden, I don't know, something happened to homeboy or something like that. You start dating somebody else. No, he ain't opening the door for you. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't giving you them good morning, beautiful texts. You feel like, man, what the heck going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I ain't used to this. That is what it is with Derek Carr. Like, Derek Carr is the guy that is not opening the door, Cannon. He's the guy that is not like giving you that good morning, beautiful text. You feel me?
I mean,
Drew Brees was that.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, TJ, what we enjoyed. I remember a game, and I went to church, and when we got out of church, I checked the score.
Right.
I mean, I think that it was an away game, and we played somebody. We blew them out with 56 points on the board. My brother-in-law, he sits up there and say, just easy. We almost scored 60 points. Don't you miss that, TJ? Don't you just miss when we walk in there on a Sunday, when we glued to the TV, we see Drew Brees, you know what I'm talking about, and Sean Payton showing on the sideline, he chewing his gum, he's saying, Drew, you ready? And then all of a sudden, man, you know what I'm saying, like offense, one play touchdown, and at the end of the game, we got 56 points while the other team got 17 points on the board. We say the game over. We used to seeing this team blowing up the scoreboard with almost 60 points. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Derek Carr can't deliver that type of excitement right now. And one more thing I want to say, TJ, before I jump off, and I'm gonna get back in the chat. I think that Spencer Rattler is ready, because you got to look at it like I'm looking at it. Just because sometimes, TJ, you be hurting me when you say, you know, Spencer not ready, which he's not right now. But I think that he has the ability to take us there. I could see it, because the boy has been getting the buzz. You got to agree with me on this one, TJ. The boy has been getting the buzz since the beginning. What is your opinion on that? He's been getting the buzz since the beginning.
It's one thing to get the buzz, Cannon. It's another thing to be ready. Like, look, bro. Look. In the words of YG, you know what I'm saying? Like, talk your ish, Adrian Broner. You know what I'm saying? But secure the win. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, all I'm saying is, right now, this dude, Adrian Broner, like, look the part, but at the same time, it's a different beast when you go in that ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's levels to this thing. He has the talent. He has the arm talent. He has the skill set. But he ain't ready for prime time. And Cannon, you've been rolling with the WHO DAT Nation for a long time, bro. You already know. Don't matter if a dude ready or not. If he goes out there and let's just say that he's a work in progress, they are not going to give that dude the opportunity to mess up and screw up. They just not. They looking for a reason to call a dude a bust. We see this all the time. You got people calling Isaiah Foskey a bust. This man is 1 year into his career right now. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes time. You got some guys that just hit the ground running, like the JJ Watts, like the Aaron Donald. Like, you got cats like that. But then you have dudes that got to develop in a system. You got to have people that develop in a system. So imagine how that would be if Drew Brees came to New Orleans and you had this mind frame. Drew Brees wasn't what he was in San Diego. As we look at him as the Saints quarterback, the legendary, like he was decent, middle of the pack. He was Derek Carr. If you want to keep it a buck, he was Derek Carr. No, bro. No, he was Derek Carr. Go back and watch. Go back and watch Drew Brees.
Was it 2006?
No, I ain't talking 2006. I'm talking 2002, 2003 Drew Brees.
When he was with the Chargers.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I ain't talking about with the Saints. What I'm saying is he wasn't how we looked at him today. He was a jag. Ain't like every sports prognosticator, former player like Marcellus Wiley, like one of his closest friends, he said, even I never saw that. Nobody expected that. So all I'm saying is, I do not want Spencer Rattler to go out there because the expectation is high and everybody wants him to go out there, and he goes out there and make a mistake and his confidence fails. And it gets wavered because the fans feel impatient. Oh, y'all told us he was the truth. Oh, y'all
Yeah,
told us that he was the
I see.
second coming of Mahomes. Let this
Because I read
man
an
sit on the
article.
bench, bro.
Because like I think I read an article, and that article right there at the end saying that his contract is worth $100 million. Him sitting on the bench right now, so that's a lot of money that
Man,
they
bro,
gave Spencer.
let him sit on the bench. Man. It's like, man. Look here. Look, y'all know how it is, man. That gumbo good hot, but I'm telling y'all right now. Hey, you ever put that gumbo in the freezer, right? Put
Right,
that thing in the freezer, and
grandma.
then
My
come
grandma
back
did that a lot.
throw that bug out, man. Throw that bug out
TJ.
and eat that, man, bro, with the crackers. My goodness,
Yeah.
it's ready, just like it was. Like for real, let that thing sit in the freezer, man. Let that man go through the motions. Let him go out here. You know what I'm saying? Like get these mental reps, and he'll be ready, man. Like don't put that man out there because I'm telling you, that man, the fan base, bro, they're impatient. And if this dude go out here throw a pick, man, you got some cats out here ready to like go in this dude, go in on this dude right now. If he goes out there preseason throwing intercept, man, y'all told us that he was better than Carr. He better than Jake Hayner, bro. I'm telling you, they ready, Cannon. Bruh, my guy, they ready. They are ready to try, bruh. People care about. They don't care how they can get it. They don't care how they can get this. I'm right from people. They don't care how they can get it. A dude can like tear his ACL. Man, bro, y'all said he was the answer. Like, dang, dude tore his ACL, man. He didn't even get a chance. But bro, they'll take it any way they can get it. But that's the way I feel. But Ken, you got anything else, man?
No, man. Thank you for letting me join the show, man. I'm trying to do your Bleacher Report, but I'm looking for it, but it's not letting me get in there. But I'm gonna
Yeah,
figure it out. Man.
like I
But
said, man, I put the link in there. If you download the Bleacher Report app
I
and
have
you
it.
hit that, if you hit this user link that I'm putting in the chat, it should bring you directly to it. It should bring you
Yeah, it's
directly to
showing
my
your
profile.
picture and it's saying profile, but it's not letting me go through. It's not letting me go through
It's
anything
not
else.
giving you a follow option.
No.
Okay, well, I have to work on that, man. I have to figure out why that's happening because I'm not sure because some people say if I actually put an episode of the show on there, then all of a sudden like it will be, it only will give them access to that show. But I'll figure it out, man. And when I do, I'll just go ahead and put that link up there.
All right, TJ, man. Thank you, man. Now I know how to talk with you, man, when I need to, bro.
Yeah, man.
Because that Dennis Allen is not. Oh Jesus, and this is just aggravating, man. This is not what we used to, TJ. It's not.
I got you, man. But look, hopefully we can have a better season this year, man. But
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later, Cannon.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
All right. Man, shouts out to Cannon. For real though, man. Look, it's like that person that opened the door for you. It's like that woman that just gives you that like confidence, man. Like you gonna be okay, baby. You wonderful. You great. You know what I'm saying? All these different things. Then some happen. Then you go see somebody else and they ain't doing the same things. It's like, hey, I ain't used to this. Like that's the Derek Carr, Drew Brees thing going on. Like Drew Brees gave Saints fans so many great moments, like so many great plays, like changed the narrative about some of the OG Saints fans out there, the way they feel about this team, right? Gave you the opportunity to rep your city, to rep your team proud. Bro, I grew up in the 90s when you wore Saints like shirts, hats, dudes a rib you from sun up to sundown. Man, your boy got on that same shirt. Oh, bro, I know you ain't got on that same shirt, boy. You a loser. Like, man, I'm telling you, like, it was almost like if you're a Saints fan, like, man, people will go in on you, bro. Like, that's why, honestly, a lot of them OGs, they Cowboy 49er fans that's out there in Louisiana because the Saints did so much losing. Being a Saints fan was an acquired taste back in the day. People, man, I'm telling you, people would go in on you, bro. Like, for real. Ribbon session. I'm going to tell y'all how real it is. So, I grew up, and I'm going to get to you, Jerry. I promise. I'm going to get to you, but let me tell this story. I worked in a Gentilly Wood Mall growing up. Gentilly Wood Mall, my very first job. I was 16 years old. I worked at Foot Action. I worked at Foot Action. We used to sell starter jackets and also those pro player jackets that they had. Y'all know the one used to have that big old emblem, you know what I'm saying? Plastic emblem with the team on the back. But anyway, they used to have Dallas. They used to have 49ers. They used to have Dolphins because Dan Marino was the man in the 90s. And they used to have the Saints. I tell y'all, no lies. In the heart of New Orleans, right on Chef. 49ers starter jackets gone. Cowboy jackets gone. Dolphins jackets gone. Saints jackets right then and there. You might have like 1, 2 dudes go, man, let me get this Saint jacket. And they saying that thing low like that at the library. Man, let me get that Saint jacket. I'm telling y'all right now, no lies. It was an acquired taste. But then Drew Brees came along. And now you can't keep Saint stuff on the rack. That's a fact. So all these people out here like, man, how you became a Dallas Cowboy fan in New Orleans, dog? Man, 49er Dallas. Like, for real. No love for the Saints. And Drew Brees, number 9, this 6-foot-tall, 209-pound quarterback came in there and showed the NFL world that they play football in New Orleans. And now you can't keep Saints stuff off the shelf. You can't. But at one time, bruh, I'm telling you, you wasn't repping, you weren't, you hear that dude way in the back in section 600, nah, bruh. It was more like, who that? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm telling you. You're going to go to Jerry. Jerry, how you doing?
Oh my goodness,
man! I'm telling Jerry. Look, bro, you've been rocking with the team for a minute. You know I ain't lying. Out there in Gulfport, bro. Hey, dog. You know, man. It wasn't like that.
I understand.
It was not like that, man. But what you got for us, man?
Oh, not much. How you doing, TJ?
I'm doing all right, man. Appreciate the call.
Oh, no problem. I ain't got a whole lot to say, TJ, but for those who know or already know and will know that yours truly made 40 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 40 water.
A rookie.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's an accomplishment, man. You know, 40 years. And you know, like I said, man, I mentioned to you, you know, I gave you a shout out, but I want to tell you this personally, man. Hope you had a good birthday, man. And you know, I'm always appreciative of the support you showed to the show, man. You know, it's always love, man. You believed in me when, you know, like very few people knew what the State of the Saints podcast world, and in my mind, it was just an idea. And I appreciate the love and support you showed over the years, man.
Hey, it's all love, TJ. It's all love. But look, I know the Saints are already on a big break right now, and training camp is, I would say, less than 5 weeks away or 4 weeks away, whichever one. But what camp battles do you think that we should see since they're going to bring training to California?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one, Jerry. First off, I guess you got to start with the backup quarterback position, man. You got to start with Jake Haener versus Spencer Rattler. That's one everybody's going to be keeping their eye on. 2 young studs around the same age. Jake Haener has a little bit of an advantage of having 1 year over Spencer Rattler under his belt, but they both are learning a new offense, and they both are learning it at the same time. So that's going to be one. I would probably have to say another position probably would be in the secondary. You know, say how would that look? I mean, I'm pretty sure Marshawn, look, he's the lockdown number 1. How would they use Kool-Aid McKinstry? You know, would they be using him primarily in the nickel? Would they shoot him to the outside? So, and also, man, a kicking competition too, you know, like Groupie, you know, like I know he got the big leg and stuff like that, but you also have the Irish guy out there that people are ready to look at. And, you know, those are some of the ones in particular. And also, man, just the rotation with the pass rush. Like, who's going to step up? Who's going to solidify themselves? Like, who's going to improve? Like, it's not so much a competition, but more so like, man, who gonna make that jump? Because the Saints need somebody like that ain't named Cam Jordan. So we can stop saying, man, what happened to Cam Jordan? All those young guys on that team, Jerry, man, it's time for somebody to step up, man.
Exactly. I agree with you, TJ. Somebody do need to step up.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt, man. But let me ask you this, man. Since we talking about offense and that we want to stay on brand for the show, who's the offensive player that you feel like the Saints are really going to be relying on going into the regular season?
Ooh, that's a tough one right there. I have to go from a toss up between Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed, bruh.
Okay.
Whoo.
Yeah, I know that's a tough one, right?
Because you remember, TJ, about a couple of years ago, Rashid Shaheed was in the practice squad.
Right.
And they called him up in week 6 versus Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
And that man turned Saints fans' eyes out.
Man, first
he
play.
did that reverse for a touchdown.
Yep, just sweep.
I'm like, look at this guy.
Man, you can't script that. That's like something. That's like something you see on a movie. Like the first time you touch a ball in the NFL, you score a touchdown. Like that's something you see on the movies. But I tell people, and I'm going to continue to say it. Every time Rashid Shaheed touched the football, something magical happened. This man never goes backwards. He always is ready for a big play. I like Rashid Shaheed a lot. Like, I think the Saints need to get this man more targets, and I think he'll take advantage of it.
Exactly, TJ. I mean, that's why most people call him Rashid the Need for Speed Shaheed. With that guy, when he run that ball, I'm telling you, that's what they call him.
When he ran that ball.
I ain't lying. He got that speed in him. Don't let speed fool you.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, he's a talented guy. Like, I feel like he is what Deontay Hardy could be if he was taller. I really do. Like, I think a lot of the issues Deontay Harris had, like the fact that he was short, and I feel like that's the reason why the Saints never really gave him that opportunity. But Rashid Shaheed, he got that good wide receiver build, that height. He's not like 6'3", 6'4", or nothing, but a good little 6'1", and he has that speed to separate, from guys. Right. I want to see this though, Jerry, because in order for the wide zone to work effectively, those wide receivers gonna have to block. So a lot of those guys are putting on some muscle. A lot of these guys are getting into like uncharted waters. So it's probably going to be one of those situations, man, where you're going to have to improve as a blocker in order for you to be able to get more time. But I really believe in Rashid Shaheed. I think that he can be a quality number 2. And I would not be surprised. And I'm going to say this. It would not be surprising to me that Rashid Shaheed has a season so successful that is one of those situations where you're going to have teams looking at him and trying to pay him top dollar. Like, that's how much respect I have for this guy as a player. He is gonna give the Saints a tough decision to make because other teams gonna be willing to pay for his services. That's how much respect I have for Shaheed.
Got you. And before I go, to I know somebody else getting ready to come on, but I want to. You did mention about them starter jackets. I remember them as well.
Yeah.
I remember starter jackets because I used to wear one back in the 90s.
Yeah. I couldn't afford one back in the day. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I think my uncles they used to have this Phoenix Sun. Baby. I'm about to laugh at I'm about to bring my big brother EJ and my mama laugh. My uncle Isaac, and I'm pretty sure he probably gonna run across this show, but he used to have this Phoenix Suns jacket, and I mean that jacket got passed down to everybody. It was like a rite of passage or something like that. It was like almost like an African ceremony. Like, right. It's your turn to wear this jacket. Everybody wore that Phoenix Sun jacket. But look, we couldn't afford it, man. $100 for a jacket back in them days, man. And you got 4 kids, and man, like, look, you wish. You wish. But yeah, go ahead, man. Finish up, man. I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted to just clarify that you were saying that before I came on. I just wanted to address that because I used to own one a long time ago.
Oh yeah, man. Look, those starter jackets used to be the thing, man. Like the starter jacket and that starter hat that go with it, with
Mm-hmm.
those little square little triangles inside the hat, like man, look. Now that is something that I want to get. Like the throwback starter hat. It's the snapback. I'm gonna have to look for that one, man. Now the New Orleans Saint one back in the day, the one Jim Murray used to be wearing at training camp, man, that mug was clean. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you could. I'm telling you, hey, with the white with the black triangles on that thing, like almost like spears. Oh my goodness, man, that hat was legendary, man. Legendary hat right there.
Absolutely, TJ. But look, and for those who did not check out my channel, it is Jared G with the Saints logo on the side. I did put a post on the community page. I did get another Drew Brees jersey, and I got a Ricky Williams jersey, both of them black, on my birthday for my brother.
Oh man, that's awesome right there, man. Like, yeah, that
And
you can't go wrong with that one.
He's a diehard Steelers fan. My dad is too. They know who the real black and gold team is.
Hey.
That's the one from New Orleans.
Oh man.
Oh, Pittsburgh.
Hey, I know those dinner tables be full of back and forth, man, and them phone calls. I can tell you that right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but Jerry, look, man, thank you so much for the call. Really do appreciate it, man. And like always, man, call back anytime, my friend.
We'll do, TJ. And one last thing, because I know you and my father got one thing in common. Both of y'all went to Jackson State University, the sonic boom of the South, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Yeah, I went to Jackson State, of course. And, when I was down in Mississippi, I took Paxton on the campus, man. And he was really excited about that. So hopefully, maybe in, about 13 more years, you know what I'm saying? We be taking that ride, dropping them off.
Hey, you have another Jones family member going to JSU, and that would be Pac-Man.
Hey, man. Hey, you never know, man. I mean, my wife might have something to do with it. She went to Tuskegee, but we all make mistakes. But Jared, thank you so much.
Well, TJ, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Oh man, my wife gonna kill me.
All this whole entire month of June, I got nothing but love for y'all.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, Jerry, man. Call back anytime, bro.
We'll do, TJ. Y'all have a blessed weekend.
All right, you too, man. Yeah. Oh man. Nah, but seriously, man, shouts out to Tuskegee University. That's my wife alma mater, and Jackson State also, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Love my dear old college home. Took Paxton on the campus and stuff, man. Got him opportunity to take a look at the campus and let him take a picture of where Dad used to have his classes at. Went up there on the stage at the Rose Emily Auditorium. Man, that was that was an emotional time for me, man. Everything just coming full circle. My little man walking up in that auditorium, man. I spent so much time in that auditorium. Spent so much time in there, man. Like just communication classes and whatnot. Let's see. I'm gonna read some of your comments, and then we'll go to Slim South and we'll end the phone calls with that. It says, LOL, I had 2 Miami Sharks and a Charlotte Hornet. Oh yeah, man. Charlotte Hornet. Now, hey. Now the Charlotte Hornet jerseys. Now, my aunt at one time, she worked at Super 10 on St. Claude, right? And they used to have like these Charlotte Hornets jerseys up in there. They had the Dallas Maverick Jason Kidd jersey. And man, it was just that teal green, right? With the pinstripes for the Charlotte Hornets and the Larry Johnson number 2. Man. Yeah, man, those Charlotte Hornets jerseys used to be all the chains back in the 90s, like when Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson, Muggsy Bogues, and Dale Curry used to be part of that rotation right there, man. Then them boys got Anthony Mason. Yeah, those pinstripes, I guess, is it turquoise? I guess it called teal, whatever. It was, man, that was like one of them classic jerseys right there, man. Yeah, but I'm telling you, man, Saint jerseys was not a high seller, even in New Orleans during that time. TJ, them Hornets starter jackets and the Saints jackets with the Louisiana on the triangle. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, Eugene, with the Louisiana logo on the front of that hat. I'm telling you, man, like that to me, that was the best Saints had ever right there. Stacey Augmon. Yeah, Stacey Augmon, the plastic man. Yeah, shouts out to Rose City. Yeah, boy. I see you, man. I see you, big homie. That boy got that NBA history for us. All right. Yeah, the plastic man, Stacey Augmon. But let's go ahead and go to Slim South, man. Slim, how you doing, man?
What's up, TJ? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine, man. How you doing?
Man, you mean my brother, you will bring out them starter jackets.
Hey, dog. Hey, bruh. I know I ain't the only one, man. Hey, those starter jackets were like, man, that, bruh. We losing some of these 2000 babies out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bruh. But the starter jackets, that used to be that jacket right there, man. Like that, like honestly, man, that was social status right there, man. Like people rocking them starter jackets, like, bro, you felt like somebody, you know, like because everybody couldn't afford them at that time, man. For real. Hey, I'm about to put you on the spot though, Slim. What was your favorite starter jacket back in the Gap?
Oh, real talk. The Charlotte Hornets. That was the lick. Hey. That was the lick.
Hey.
The Charlotte Hornets.
Hey,
back in the day.
Them, man, for me, those were the best jerseys in the league at that time, bro. Everybody wanted one. And they wanted, like, they was aight, like as a team, but they like it was just the jersey itself, man. Like everybody wanted that Larry Johnson #2 Charlotte Hornets jersey.
That's the one I had. That's the one I had.
Grab my mom, man.
We called it teal green back in the day, y'all.
Hey, yeah, man. Hey, that was the jersey everybody wanted, man. And like in Alonzo Mourning #33, everybody wanted that one too. And you know, I mean, Harold Miner for the Miami Heat, like people wanted that one too. But man, and of course everybody wanted Jordan Pippen and you know back in the day. But man, but them Charlotte Hornets, man, everybody wanted one of them.
Yeah, Charlotte was real popular down in New Orleans, Jeremy. Y'all you know what it is, TJ.
yeah, I definitely know what it is, man. And then ironically, this is the ironic thing, Slim, when the Hornets came to New Orleans, right? And it's like when you was able to wear the pinstripe with the New Orleans on the front, man, it was full circle to me, man. Like for real, like to be able to wear like those some of the best jerseys ever right there.
Yes, indeed. Great times, by the way. Like when we had a winning culture back then, but we're not gonna get into that. But
that's a good segue, by the way. A winning culture. So how we get back to it, Slim? Like how we get back to this? That boy came through with the throwback jerseys and the segues. Okay, I got you, big homie. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, man. But thanks for having me on, TJ. Like I've been supporting you. I've been supporting you for a minute. You're doing your thing. Keep growing. You keep growing, doing big things. You made my day bringing up the starter jacket. Oh my God, I'm crying, laughing right now.
Oh man,
good times.
Yeah.
But I think you asked the question about who's going to be the most impactful offensive players this season. I think.
Right. Yeah, I did.
Me personally, I'm gonna go with like I think OG said Chris Olave. I'm gonna go with Chris Olave. Like he really like he gives 1,000 yards a season anyway. So I think he's gonna grow even more. Depending on Derek Carr, by the way, in the offensive line. You know what I'm saying? But,
I got you.
But I'm gonna go with Chris Olave. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chris Olave and I don't know what you think about that. I know y'all touched on that earlier, but
yeah. I will say this, Slim. Let's keep it on Chris Olave. All right. So the biggest issue I think that is separating Chris Olave from really being in that upper echelon of wide receivers is the yards after the catch, bro. Like.
Yeah.
Now he did put on 7 pounds of muscle. He looks more leaner. He looks like it seems like he's starting to grow into his NFL body. There's a difference from his rookie season to his second season. I think we're really like what I really saw that was it was the game versus the Atlanta Falcons. Well, we didn't mention this game quite a bit today, but it was the game against the Atlanta Falcons where he caught that pass, like he tipped it to himself and caught it over the back of the head of that cornerback.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I didn't realize like Chris Olave was that big. You know what I'm saying? Like he looked like he had some size on him versus like when I seen him like catch that pass over the middle against Minnesota to put the Saints in field goal range against, when it was in the UK. So he adds on 7 pounds of muscle, right? Like, do you think that might take him to that next level? Like, what are you looking for? Like, I'm looking for yards after the catch. We know that he can get 1,000 yards. You just alluded to that. But what can get him to that 1,400 in your opinion?
You just said it, TJ. Yards after that yak. You gotta have that yak. You just said a whole mouthful. Like, you can't, like, he'll go off for a nice pass and he'll duck from a tackle or go out of bounds or something. But like, sometimes you gotta break that tackle and get yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, go be that dog. That's what I'm looking for. Go be that dog.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I look for. And that's why I feel, to me, I feel like the person that is going to thrive most in this offense, and I could be wrong, is A.T. Perry. Like A.T. Perry, I feel like he kind of fits that mold. And somebody mentioned at the top of the show, Bub Means. Bub Means can be that break a tackle type guy because to me, he reminds me of Michael Thomas as far as like not the physicality standpoint, but some of the catches that he made it's hard to bring this dude down. Like Mike T, like this man just goes into like another mode when you're on the field, like just plays bully ball. Bub is not so much bully ball. It's more so like I'm a big dude, pause. But you know what I'm saying? Like I can do some of the things, you know what I'm saying? Like I can move you out of the way. It's not like an aggressive, like, but he can get it done. You know what I'm saying? He can get it done. So I'm looking for that from Olave. I feel like if Olave can add that to his game, like you'll be talking about him like when you talk about Justin Jefferson. You'll be talking about him like you talk about Jamar Chase. Like that's the only thing that's separating. We know that he can catch them circus catches. We know that he catches everything. It's just that yards after the catch. That's what's stopping him from like really hitting that upper echelon.
Facts, CJ. And what AT's like, you said mention AT Perry, he's like what 6'5", I think. 6'6". Like, so he's a taller Michael Thomas to me anyway. So you made a valid point with AT Perry, but I really think Chris Olave could be that dog. I just see it. Like break a few tackles, you know what I'm saying? Go get a yard or two extra, you know what I'm saying?
Right. That's right. Look, if he can do that, and I'm hoping that because they are requiring these wide receivers to block a little bit more than they used to, I feel like that may help them. I feel like if you look at teams that play the wide zone, I don't think it's a coincidence that they wide receivers be eating after the catch. Like you think about like a Puka Nacua, right? I mean, the Rams play the wide zone. They do a lot of motion. This man get them yards after the catch. You start to see a little bit in Detroit. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown getting them yards after the catch. It's like because it requires you to be physical at the line of scrimmage with the corners. It kind of just helps you to be able to get those yards and not so quick to go out of bounds, but try to get your Brandon Marshall on. You know what I'm saying? When you stiff arm and dudes and turn into a running back when you get that ball in your hands. So hopefully, like that'll work for him. But I feel like that's the only thing that's separating him. From year 1 to year 2, Slim, it was the issue like, can he get the contested catches? Year 2, he started to get those contested catches. So now it's like, okay, you got the contested catches on you. Now can you get those contested catches and that yak? So if he can get if he can combine that, oh bro, this dude would be the truth.
Yeah, definitely. And definitely. And I know y'all mentioned I gotta tell you this, TJ, Who Dat Nation. I know y'all touched on this subject earlier about Alvin Kamara. Man, I'm not gonna say break the bank for him, but you gotta pay that man. This is a once in a lifetime generational running back. You already know that running backs they have a short life expectancy in the NFL, I think, with like 3 years. So when you got a running back like Alvin Kamara, pay the man. I'm not gonna say break the bank, but pay him.
Right.
Pay him.
I agree, man. Look, he's a straw that's stirring this drink. Like Clint Kubiak ain't coming to New Orleans and making that type of deal with the Saints and making that type of commitment if Alvin Kamara ain't in the equation. I know what he said in his press conference when he talked after minicamp. Oh, Derek Carr is the reason I BS. Like, miss me with that, bro. Like, I do not. I ain't buying that. Like, I agree with what some people saying when it comes to Spencer Rattler. I think Spencer Rattler is, you know what I'm saying, like, is in New Orleans because of Clint Kubiak. But I for damn sure don't feel like Clint Kubiak was like, man, Derek Carr needs a offensive coordinator. I'm there. Like, nah, bro. Nah. I think, look, Alvin Kamara is a special football player. And when you have guys that can do special things like AK, it makes it more of an incentive when you decide to take jobs. And Clint Kubiak wants AK to be here. So I think they'll pay him. Now, are they going to pay him like Christian McCaffrey? No. Do I feel like they need to pay him like Christian McCaffrey? No, because you ain't put up the stat line like I said, whether it's fair or not, you did not put up that stat line. So we can't treat you like that. We can't treat you with intentions. Like, oh man, your intentions are to be like Christian McCaffrey, but you're not, and your numbers don't reflect that. So pay the man respectably. Right. And let's just keep it moving, man. Have this man in training camp because he's not going to be in training camp if y'all don't get this done by the 24th.
Right. Yeah. Right. Especially with a new offensive coordinator. So you definitely don't want to have him there. Yeah. And one more thing, TJ. Shout out to Marshawn Lattimore. That dude there, real talk. I think this is my biased opinion. I think he's the best cornerback in the NFL. That's just me talking personally. He locks down one side of the field. Man, put some respect on Marshawn Lattimore. Because we all know when he gets injured, the defense is not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same. Like, on his side of the field, matter of fact. So put some respect on Laddie Daddy, man. That's my guy there, right? Pause. No did it. That's my guy right there. No did it, y'all. No did it.
Oh, but look, I agree with you don't know how I feel about Marshawn Lattimore, man. That guy's the truth. I like the fact that he came out and said he is the best because a lot of times, like, he just gets swept under the rug, and these cornerbacks that play in big media markets, they ready to hype them up like the Sauce Gardners and you know, saying the Darius Slays out there in Philly, and you know, like, nobody really get his man his respect. He always fall like, oh, number 7 or number 6, but this man has been locking it down. Like, I tell people all the time, if you think this dude ain't deserving of the top 10, look no further than him matching up with Mike Evans. Now, you may look at Mike Evans like, oh man, like Mike Evans, like, whether you like this dude or not, he is one of the best wide receivers in football. And then to me, he top 5. Every single year, this dude gets 1,000 yards, no matter who throwing him the football. And think about it. They ain't always had Tom Brady or Baker Mayfield last year. They ain't always had that. And this man, every single year, gets 1,000 yards. And when he goes up against Marshawn Lattimore, this dude just becomes completely a non-factor. So to me, like, it'll be like Mike Evans against Marshawn Lattimore, 1 catch, 23 yards. Then the next week, Mike Evans, 10 catches, 175. How does that happen, dog? Unless he going up against the best cornerback in the league. So I agree with what you're saying, Slim. Put some respect on that man's name. We have a tendency of, when things going right, or we don't need him no more. But where these cats was at in 2015 when the Saints didn't have no cornerbacks and they couldn't stop traffic with a stop sign, big homie. Like, for real. Like, where were they at, man? Like, we have a tendency of turning off that memory, turning it on and off. When it's when it's convenient to us, everything is going great. Oh man, we don't need him. We don't, like, bro, you need Marshawn Lattimore.
Right.
You need him. You ain't like, this dude changes the way you play defense.
Right.
Like, seriously.
Definitely. And let me say one more thing, TJ. I won't hold you up too much.
Nah, you good, man.
All right. Because we family. We New Orleans family. You know what? But I want to say about Derek Carr, like, real talk, I know I posted a comment in your chat, like, Drew Brees told him to embrace the city will embrace you back.
Right.
I'm starting to see that a little bit now. I'm seeing them in the community, you know, doing this little thing, whatever.
Right.
But WHO DAT Nation? I'm 40 years old. I think TJ, we in the same age, y'all.
Yeah.
We have y'all don't understand. I mean, to the young folks, whatever, y'all don't understand the meaning of the worst we ever seen. Derek Carr,
Right.
is, y'all think Derek Carr is the worst? We seen worse back
Man.
in the day. Y'all don't understand. Y'all. I know we got spoiled. I say spoiled because I'm from New Orleans. You from New Orleans? We say spoiled. We got spoiled by number 9 Drew Brees and Sean
Mm-hmm.
Payton. Real talk, that's the good times. But really appreciate. Matter of fact, really appreciate Drew Brees. Like that dude, the GOAT amongst GOATs. Like he brought us to a whole nother level. But real talk, um, speaking what I said, we seen a worse of quarterbacks. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
think Derek Carr's worse? Go do your homework and go look at the past quarterbacks. Not Drew Brees. But go look way before Drew Brees, and y'all go see the worst of the worst.
Yeah. I say, okay, I say this, Slim. I say this all the time. Like, I want to say Cannon called in, and he was like, he was like, man, when you see Drew Brees putting up 56 point, 350 yard, 4 touchdown, paraphrasing like some of the things he's saying.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, man, we ain't used to that. I think about this, man. I'm like, I mean, I can remember those times, but I will say this. I don't really get on. I don't really get on a lot of the same fans because they're like, man, I'm used to this. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Now I'm about to make you feel old. If you were 10 years old when Drew Brees first came to New Orleans, right? You're about 28 years old right now, right? You're about 28.
Damn, TJ.
So, no, I'm just saying. So you almost
Right.
30. So the thing about it is, all you know is like decent, above average football. Like if you really just start following football, and even if you 8, you 26. Like, so all you really know is, oh man, the Saints been in playoff contention. Oh, the Saints have one of the top offenses in the league. Versus me and you. Like, I'm 37, I'm about to be 38 in August. You say you're 40. We know about the Jim Everett, the JT O'Sullivan, the Billy Joes, Billy Joe Holman, Billy Joe Tyler. We know about Danny Warfel. We know about Todd Bauman, right? We know about these cats, man, that you ain't about to win nothing with. What, AJ McPherson? Man, these dudes were garbage. Hot garbage. For real, you know you wasn't winning nothing. You knew you weren't winning nothing with that, bro. Like, so when you like start getting on here, like, man, all I know, like, you almost 30. If you almost, as crazy as this sounds, if you almost 30 years old, all you know is Drew Brees. I know I made some of the people in the chat feel old too, because some of y'all fall in that equation. I heard Jerry, you call, I'm 40. Yeah, bro, you involved in that category. You're OG for real.
Yeah, OG.
OGs for real. Like, you almost 30 years old. All you know is pretty much above average, like upper echelon football. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's like living in a mansion. All of a sudden, the stock market crash of 29 happened, and you just living on the street. That is how some people feeling. But now it's like, I don't know, man. It's like, okay, I grew up. I grew up in a 9, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up in a 9. Like, it wasn't the best. Like, I ain't living the best of condition. My mom did what she could, but now it's like, you go from up, up here, like, okay, I'm saying, a nice little house in South Carolina. God bless me. But if we were to lose it, I was like, what am I going to do? Like, nah, bro. I done seen worse.
Right.
But if you if you grew up in, like, I don't know, man, East over somewhere, and then all of a sudden, like, oh man, we got to move it to the Desire. Oh my God, man, look, shoot, you on the 3rd floor trying to jump out that joint. And that's how people feel when it comes to, like, watching Drew Brees all those years, Slim, and they don't have anything that they can relate it to. And it's not your fault. Like, it's not your fault. Who Dat Nation? Like, you can't, like, we can't blame you for the era that you grew up in. But we will say this to all the OGs, and I'm pretty sure Slim can actually relate to this. Like, it can get worse.
Right.
But you got it. But you got anything else, Slim?
Nah, man, my brother TJ, keep doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? I know you probably got some more calls or whatever, but
Nah, you
thanks
the
for
last
having.
one of the night, man. We just gonna take some comments from this. Hey, we finished with a bang. Look, I say my boy Slim Solid. Look, hey, that's my last call of the night. We can end with that.
Cause real talk, who that nation? We'll be talking, chatting it up all night. So I'm gonna end it on that. God bless you, TJ. You know, to your family, whatever.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Pax. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to. Matter of fact, before I go, will you ever have your brother on again? Like, cause you know he got some knowledge too, though.
Oh man, I be trying to get him on, but hey, he got some things cooking on cooking right now. I know he's starting his own like sports page
Okay.
publication on that. And when I do the gumbo pie, definitely gonna see him more, man. And that's the reason why. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why, because I want to open, like, some people, they love the Saints, man, but they want to talk about other teams as well, man. And they got other things going on too. So that's why I want to like open up the gumbo pie so we can, bring other people in that may want to talk, about other teams and college football and all that kind of stuff there, man. But you definitely are gonna be seeing him on the gumbo pie.
For sure.
And once his publication Pick Six come out, definitely gonna be giving everybody information on that. But he'll be back on the show, man.
For sure. God bless you, TJ. And remember, who that nation? Gumbo is always good, baby.
Yeah.
Much love. Who that?
When it's cold after a couple of days. Put that, I'm telling y'all, anybody that don't believe me, put that thing in the freezer for a couple of days. I'm telling you, it tastes just the same.
Let's go.
All right,
love. All right, appreciate you, brother.
For real, man. I know I ain't putting a lot of people on game, but for those that I am putting on game, put that. I'm telling you, we get some Tupperware, put the top lid on that thing, put that thing in the freezer, a deep freezer preferably. My goodness, be like, man, what am I eat? What am I eat? Then you think to yourself, man, I do have that gumbo that I froze, and then get yourself some rice. Lord have mercy. That's some good eating right there, boy. That's some good eating. But thank you to everybody that actually chimed in, called in, man. Thank y'all so much. Really do appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and dedicate the rest of this show, rest of this podcast, to the chat. And I know we're going a little bit longer, but man, y'all know, I mean, it's been a couple days since I did a show, so want to see what everybody's thinking, what the pulse of the Who Dat Nation is. So let me read some of these comments. That's all PR. The team set that up for players to give back, go out to the community service. Ty, on the other hand, coming out of the pocket, stated a youth center. Let's see. Carr thing is a political campaign. Look, no cap. I don't know if it's political or not. You're entitled to your opinion, of course, man. I value the heck out of your opinion. You already know that. I don't know what it is, man, but it's a start. And we know how it go, man. I mean, it's about quid pro quo here. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. And if that's what he's doing, then I mean, in a way it's working, because you got people out there that really are embracing this dude now. And like I say, I look, I don't know Derek Carr as a human being. I don't know him. Like, I never look at, like, you got some people going far as like reaching out to the wife and going in, like, why, bro? Like, it's a football game. Like, man, these dudes like in Barcelona somewhere, like these dudes in Paris, like in fashion shows, like Joe Burrow and Russell Westbrook. Like, man, come on, man. Why we sitting on here going back and forth about guys like these dudes living their best life? So I don't know. I don't know this dude personally. All I do is critique this dude based on some of the things that I see, and also his performance on the field. Right? I don't know him as a husband, as a father, as a spiritual man. I don't know about any of those things. Right? And to be honest, I don't want to know. All I care about is this dude taking my favorite team, the team that I cover, the team that I've dedicated over 1,100 podcasts to, take them somewhere where we all can be appreciative of the effort. If you can't do that, then find somebody else that can. That's all I'm saying. I don't, whatever he does in his spare time, that's what he does in his spare time. It's about football at the end of the day on here, right? All that stuff about who he is as a father, husband, I'm good. I guess Breeze went 7-9 several times if that was the logic. Well, I don't know what this is. I don't know. I don't know exactly what this was dedicated to, but if you showed that you actually can win something of significance, a Super Bowl, offensive player of the year, several double-digit games, a season. People have a tendency of giving you the BOD. Now, if you basically just being good off hearsay and a few games sprinkle in between, people might just think that, I don't know about this guy. Right. So, sometimes when you win, it gives people a Zen-like patience. But if you ain't won nothing and you ain't proved that you can win something of significance, people might just look at you as like you're not the guy. I don't make the rules. I'm just telling you how it goes. You seen a team, if Carr played for a team, they would be a 2-win team. I don't know if they'll be a 2-win. I don't believe that. I don't. I don't think that Derek Carr is just god awful, right? I don't think that he is an elite quarterback. I don't. I think that he's a good, decent quarterback, but I don't think like he's 2-win bad. Like I don't think he's 2-win bad. I don't. That's foreign to most people. Let me see. I was throw it out. I see a lot of going back and forth in the chat trying to validate points here. TJ, no disrespect to the previous comments, but politicking is a part of quarterback position, both in the locker room and the public forum. Image matters. That is true. That is true. That's the reason why we love Drew Brees so much. First thing we start talking about, man, he a leader. Man, everybody like Drew Brees. I say that all the time. Like Drew Brees can go in any store in New Orleans, sit down, and don't even have to pull out his wallet. People would just be happy that they serve Drew Brees. Drew, if I can just take a picture with you, you're meal free. Like, how do you get to that status? And it ain't just about him throwing touchdowns either. I mean, it plays a huge role, but for the most part, man, people like look at Drew Brees as almost like a deity in New Orleans. Like, it's just the truth. And, it is about, carrying yourself a certain way. Because we know, man, if like that's the reason why some people sour on Michael Thomas. As much as Michael Thomas did in the Saints uniform, the way that he played, the aggression, the catches, the good feelings, all that stuff went out the window when he started like going on Twitter, right? Who this dude think he is, man? I'm done with Michael Thomas. Image does matter at the end of the day. But to me, yeah. But to me, like I don't care about what this dude do like behind the scenes. I don't. Like, as long as you ain't like out here hurting nobody, like on some Darren Sharper or something, like, nah, bro, like, don't be doing that. But look, I don't care. Like, I don't care if you took your wife to Turk and Caicos. I don't care. I mean, that's great for you. Hopefully one day I could be like that. You know what I'm saying? My pocket's right. But, what I care about is what you can do on the field. What you can do on the field matters to me. Brees' offensive prime was still off the charts with those 7-9 teams. The defense talent was terrible, historically bad defense. Yeah, I mean, the defense was terrible. Drew Brees always put up astronomical numbers. He did. But also in between those 7-9 wins, once again, first year, just like Sean Payton, Drew Brees took the New Orleans Saints further than they ever have in franchise history, which is the NFC Championship game versus the Chicago Bears. So if they did go 7-9, guess what? This first season, he showed you that he can take your team further than they ever been. And in the fourth season, he took them to the freaking Super Bowl. So unless the Saints won another Super Bowl, or a quarterback like Derek Carr comes in here and let's just say 2024, Derek Carr just lights it up and he helps the New Orleans Saints go to the Super Bowl and he becomes Super Bowl MVP. Well, guess what? You put yourself in elite category. And I guarantee you the people that have a certain opinion about Derek Carr won't have that thought about him anymore. I say this constantly, and I sound like a parakeet, but here it is again. You want to get people off your back? You want people to stop saying that you stink. You want people to stop saying that you're a waste of $100 million. Win something of significance. Take the Saints to the playoffs. Win a couple playoff games. Go out there fighting. Lay it all on the line. And I guarantee you, the thoughts and the feelings that some people may have, the detractors out there, they will change the narrative about how they think about you. And then you won't have to have people in the comments trying to validate how good you are or making excuses about, oh, the reason why he didn't play well was because of this, that, and the third. And I'm not saying this about you, Arvin. I'm not. I'm just saying this in general. The same way it was with Jameis Winston. Man, if Jameis Winston would have had an opportunity, if Jameis Winston would win, and nobody would care. All of the talk would go away. Then you wouldn't have to have people in the chat trying to validate your accomplishments or try to make excuses as to why you're not as good as this quarterback or X, Y, and Z. Win something. I love Michael Thomas. I understand why he's mad. He took a pay cut for DC. He broke records as a Saint. Yeah. I mean, look, I ain't here. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes. We don't. We don't, folks. We do not. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes. We only know what's privy to us by the media, certain things that players say, and we can kind of read through the lines. These guys got bills to pay. These dudes got to take care of their families. These guys will give you a little bit of something, but they ain't about to just give you just a bunch of rope in order for them to completely. Well, y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, they'll kind of leave it hanging in the air to allow you to make your own interpretations. You know what I meant, but I'm not gonna say it. You have to play the game, and then you have some players that may be like, you know what? I got enough money in the bank. I'm gonna tell y'all how I really feel. But there's a lot of things behind the scenes that we don't know, and we will never know. And a lot of times these dudes grin and bear this stuff because they understand, I can't come out here and say this stuff because another team going to be looking at me. Every game is an audition because the chances are of you playing for the same team that drafted you or signed you as an undrafted free agent or undrafted rookie. Guess what? More than likely, you're not going to stay on that team forever. And you might want to be on your best behavior. So the Bengals might want to pick you up later on when your contract expires. Or you did enough in order for somebody to call you up again and give you an opportunity to come to training camp to try to compete for a job. It's just how it goes. So that's what bothers me when people say, well, he said this. So I don't understand why we said, of course he gonna say, oh man, it was a tough loss today. I put up 200 and some odd yards and 3 touchdowns, but it's on me. Of course they're going to say that. These dudes won't stay in the league. They want to keep on feeding their family. Dudes ain't about to just go out there and just go off the deep end of a point of no return and be like, man, this dude here sucked. He showed up late. I mean, he up here always making excuses of why he can't show up to the facility and come to team meetings. They're not going to say this stuff. Airing out dirty laundry, right? It's a system. So like I said, it just bothers me when people say, well, he said this. So that's what he said. He said this. If he had a problem with it, he would have said it. No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. You got a few players that's outspoken that's going to speak their mind. But you can probably count them. Honestly, how many NFL players do you see out here right now? I'm pretty sure the Saints ain't the only team that you all watch. How many players do you see that just outspoken, that just speak their mind, that just say whatever the heck they want, right off the rip? And you know you about to get a good soundbite from them. You can probably count on one hand right now active players in the National Football League. And once again, do you know why? Because these players want to stay making that money as long as possible. This is a business, people. These dudes are as committed to the team as the team is committed to them. If the Saints decide, as long as Cam Jordan has been a New Orleans Saint his entire career since 2011, if they just make up in their mind, Cam, we love you, appreciate everything that you're doing, but we think we need to go in a different direction. Then that same Cam Jordan, that legendary figure, that Mount Rushmore type player for the New Orleans Saints will put on another team's uniform and rep for that team. So when people say, well, he said this, of course he did. Why wouldn't he? If I know that this team not going to pay me the $12 million, so I can set the market for this particular thing, or I can go somewhere else, all I got to do is just be quiet and just toe the line, guess what I'm going to do? See, when it came to Sundays, Drew warming up the arm, showing ready boys already, Drew, Dennis Allen looking lost in space. Derek just sitting there like he's so ready to go. No excitement. Well, yeah, man, you gotta give somebody something to cheer for. You gotta give him something to cheer for. And I love Jameis Winston, but Carr is much better quarterback than him. I still hope Jameis balls in Cleveland. Look, all I'm saying is, if you want people to stop talking about you in a negative way, just win some football games. Mike T still my dog, keeping both of my jerseys. Yeah, I mean, look, I ain't got nothing against Michael Thomas. I'm going to make you a gumbo, says my mom. Well, I appreciate that. I wish I would have asked you to do that before I left. I definitely went to Walmart a couple times. I could have got them ingredients that you need. TJ, I'm 50 and been a Saints fan since age 8. I give my left arm and a few other body parts to Drew Brees if he needed them, and I'm left-handed. Well, Drew Brees is throwing the ball left-handed these days, Eugene, if you listen to him talk. 6 head coaches in 9 years. Look, like I said, man, I respect what you're doing, but if Derek Carr wins this, Arvin, you won't have to be sitting up here trying to defend this man with everything you got. People care about winning, and that's the name of the game, right? People ready to say that Brock Purdy can lead a team to the Super Bowl, and Brock Purdy is about as average as a C+ as a quarterback. But guess what? I mean, Brock Purdy won a lot of games. Brock Purdy has been to the playoffs, has been to the Super Bowl. I mean, it's 2 seasons he's been the starting quarterback for the 49ers, NFC Championship, Super Bowl. So guess what? 49er fans right now feel like Brock Purdy can help them win something of significance. Not so much about Derek Carr right now. And that's the reason why, you got to come in here and say some of the things that you're saying. Or somebody had to come in here and say, defend Jameis Winston. Win is all I'm saying. And you're making some good points. Look, I feel like there's no right or wrong about this, because we can basically go in circles all night. We can go in circles all night. Your points that you're making, Arvin, are valid. Just like the points other people are making to counteract that are valid. But win is the name of the game. But thank you all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Really do appreciate that. Much love to you. Much love to you. Thank you so much. It was a pop-up shop show, and man, so many comments, so many people called in. Man, that's extremely humbling to me. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. That is extremely humbling to me. And I thank you all for your support. All right. Coming up on Monday, the Gumbo Pie Sports Podcast in full effect. If you like NFL, if you like college football, then the Gumbo Pie Sports Podcast is your destination, man. We about to kick it up, man. We about to really show people in 2024 what we all about, right? We about to take this thing to the next level. We about to work hard as we possibly can. We about to put out some of these shows, and man, we're going to really do a lot of great things, this year in 2024. And I'm asking for your support. Now, if you have not subscribed to the Gumbo Pie Sports Podcast channel, let me go ahead and put that link down in the comments so everybody can get it. All right. I'm asking everybody. You ain't never did nothing for Timothy J. Jones, right? I'm just asking you right now if you can go to the Gumbo Pod Sports Podcast channel page and go ahead and subscribe. Because, like I said, I've been sharing this episode. You'll probably see this going live right now. I've been sharing episodes of the State of the Saints on the Gumbo Pod. That's no longer going to be the case. I've said this in the past, but I'm serious this time. This State of the Saints is going to be exclusively for State of the Saints, and Gumbo Pod is going to be dedicated to college football, NFL, and, just opening up a completely different platform. My goal is to make sure that we get different individuals on the show. So you might be seeing some heavy hitters coming on the Gumbo Pod Sports Podcast, right? Shouts out to my guy, Steve Weiss, who has been on the show several times. Emery Hunt, my guy, has been on the show several times. Brian McFadden, like so many different people, like Ross Jackson, all the others. But, man, we're about to open it up, man. So I'm just asking everybody for their support. I'm asking everybody to go ahead, hit that link, subscribe to the channel so we can hit the ground running. Because we're going to have some fun in 2024. We ain't holding back, right? We about to be as entertaining can be. We about to put the E in entertainment on both platforms. All right, and also on Bleacher Report. I signed with Bleacher Report for the 2024 NFL season, and I am extremely excited about that. We got corporate sponsorship that's coming through the spot for the State of the Saints podcast this season, which I'm appreciative of that. And I'm just asking everybody to help to grow this channel by liking and sharing the videos. I really appreciate that. Eugene says, damn, now I need some gumbo. Well, we got the gumbo pot for you right now. I don't know about sharing my gumbo, my mama gumbo with you. I don't know about that. I'll just play Eugene. Look, but seriously, man, I'm just asking everybody to please subscribe. Just subscribe, TJ, but I have to get that Bleacher Report. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Bleacher Report. I really don't know, man. Has anybody else had issues like following on Bleacher Report? Because I don't know, man. I'm not too sure. I do know you have to download the app in order for you to follow me. And I do know like some episodes that we have on Bleacher Report. Like I said, people have been being able to get to those. So, like I said, I'm not too sure. I'm gonna try to see if I can actually take one of these episodes here. But I think it won't let you. I don't think it'll let you share with me share my profile with you. Now, I just put this link. This is the latest episode that I did on Bleacher Report. This was like from last month sometime. So I think it only brings you to that particular episode. It might allow you to click on my profile. We'll see. No, you have to sign up too. Oh, yeah. That's right. Oh, yeah, you have to download it. Thank you, Cartel. There we go. You got to download the app, sign up. I know it's a lie. I'm straight CVS in it right now. Y'all know how CVS is. You go up in there, you got to sign up. You can get your extra bucks. But anyway, yeah, I mean, download the app, sign up, and then you'll be able to get access to it, which to me, it's extremely convenient because anything that you're into, whether it's NFL, NBA, WWE, which I can't stand, I just finally got the notification turned off because I don't like watching premium live events of WWE in real time. And Bleacher Report will just spoil it for you. Cody Rhodes beats AJ Styles in an I Quit match. I mean, I'm at a function for the radio station, and I'm like, oh man, now I already know what happened. I mean, I knew it was gonna happen, but at least let me find out on my own. But anyway, that goes to show you how direct access is for Bleacher Report. Then I have to do the $4.99 too. Nah, I ain't do no $4.99. Who paying? I mean, if you want to do that, great. Awesome. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. You know what I'm saying? Awesome. But I think you can sign up for free. Just subscribe, TJ, but I have to get that Bleacher Report. I think I already for the Gumbo Pot. But like I said, I put the Gumbo Pot in the link in the chat. I put the Bleacher Report link in the chat. download the app, sign up on Bleacher Report. You'll be able to get that access. All right. But thank you all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Once again, if you just stumble across this channel and just seen a handsome black dude talking, my name is Timothy J. Jones. And you can subscribe to the channel, youtube.com, search the State of the Saints podcast. Also, once again, sign and subscribe to the Gumbo Pod Sports Podcast channel. You can follow me on X at TJAYJones8. Previous episodes available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM. And for those that couldn't make it but showed up late, shouts out to them after show boys.
Shouts out, shouts out, shouts out, shouts out, shouts out to them after show boys. Shouts out, shouts out, shouts out, shouts out, shouts out to them after show boys. They be tweeting and be posting, they be tweeting and be posting, they be tweeting. Yeah, them after show boys. They be tweeting and be posting, they be tweeting and be posting, they be tweeting. Yeah, them after show boys. Shouts out, shouts out, shouts out, shouts out, shouts out to them after show boys. Shouts out, shouts out, shouts out, shouts out, shouts out to them after show boys. They be tweeting and be posting, they be tweeting and be posting, they be tweeting. Yeah, them after show boys. They be tweeting and be posting, they be tweeting and be posting, they be tweeting. Yeah, them after show boys.
I don't know if it was still playing or not. I pressed the button. I pressed the button and the screen went black. So I don't know if we was jamming or we was in silence. I don't know, man. But look, shouts out to them after show boys. Really do appreciate it, man. Much love to everybody out there that support this show. Once again, previous episodes available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM. And until next time, all I got to say is, who that?
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast.
Hey, don't let these tears fool you. There's all dog around this mug. I'm good.